Hi, Flosstube. I'm Cathy,
I'm Nancy.
and we're the so-and-sos back for number 12.
Number 12.
Number 12. Flosstube number 12.
Yep.
It's been a month since we've been here, and we have all kinds of finishes and things to show you.
We have been busy.
We have been busy. And Nancy has a life update.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to everyone for all of the prayers and good thoughts and good vibes for my daughter. She's doing fantastic.
She is.
They said she would be in the hospital 7 to 10 days, and she was home in 5.
Wow.
Yep, she had surgery on Wednesday and was home by Monday.
That's amazing.
And she started physical therapy today. And the hardest thing for her is not lifting her babies because she can't lift anything because of the sternum healing. They said that 90% of the people that come back because they've
done something,
re-broke that sternum is moms. So yeah. So, but she's doing good, and she's just had so many people that have helped her. Just
that's fantastic.
So many people. She has people bringing food into them. She has people that will come and take the babies for the day.
Wow.
And so anyway, she has help in the evenings, after school's out, because she has her two older boys, and her husband does work nights, so but she does have the two older boys, so she just needs someone just like during the day while he's sleeping. And anyway, but she's just had so many people just kind of step in and help, and
that is so nice.
And she's just doing good. And when she first told me she was having the surgery, I took it really hard because I Googled it, and I should never have Googled it.
You don't ever want to watch that stuff.
I just prayed and prayed and prayed about it, and I just got like a relief that kind of came over me, and so I didn't stress. But then when it got like just a day or two before, or a week before the surgery, then I started kind of thinking about it again. And then I thought, it's scary for me, and it's scary for her and for us, but it's routine for the surgeons and the medical team.
And they're so good in Utah.
Yeah, and she went to the University of Utah, and they were so good with her.
They are so good down there.
Anyway, just letting you know that she is doing wonderful. I've had people reach out to me on Instagram and ask, and just say thanks, because prayers do work.
Yeah, she did amazingly well.
Yep. And she doesn't even, so for her follow-up appointment, she's not going down there. They're just going to do a virtual meeting with the surgeon, and then she's made an appointment with her cardiologist in here, and he's going to check her incision and things like that to make sure everything's good.
So she doesn't have to go back and forth, and that's great.
Yep.
That's excellent.
So, anyway, and you?
Well, out of the last 4 weeks, I was sick for 3 of them. I had a terrible sinus infection, and oh my word, it was awful. My head was so full of guck, and I finally got rid of it, and then it kind of went into my throat, and it wasn't like my lungs, it was just caught in my throat, and so I had cough for a couple of weeks, and now that's gone, and it's cleared up, so I feel much better. But I did get a lot of stitching done.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens
when you're
COVID. Sick and you can't do anything. You just
I knew I didn't have COVID because I tested, and I had antibiotics, and then I had to get stronger antibiotics, and I finally got over it. So we're all back to normal now.
And our weather is finally, I think.
It was 84 at our house yesterday.
Oh, really?
We're down in the canyon in the banana belt.
It was 75 here.
Yeah, it got warm, but now today it's supposed to be in the 60s, and tomorrow the highs go back to the 50s. So we went up, and now we're going back down. But it still feels like spring.
It still feels like spring, and
the trees are budding and kind of things like that. So,
but the wind has kind of come up today and kind of made it chilly. But And I've been out in my flower beds a little bit. And
Yeah, we're getting ready to. My husband trimmed all the, where the grass is. He recut the nice curves, and we're gonna compost all the plants. I have perennials in all my flower beds, so they come up every year by themselves, and we just recompost them every year. And
so we planted. That's what I did. Replaced everything with perennials, but I have plants. I don't think they're coming back.
some of them, if it was so cold for so long that I don't know if they're all gonna come back
Because
this year.
they're not getting green at the base.
Not yet.
And everything else
Is greening up.
Greening up at the base, and I've got buds on my bushes and stuff. But these
Yeah,
planted last year.
well, the rule of thumb with perennials is the first year they sleep, the second year they creep, and the third year they leap. So that's how perennials work.
I don't know. I need to go out and kind of break a branch, see if
it's
they're
green.
dead. Because I think they're dead.
It's hard to say.
But our nursery that I got them from, if you use when you plant them, if you use a certain mix that goes inside, they don't come back.
They guarantee them.
They're guaranteed.
Yeah.
So, and we do have a tree. When we planted it, my husband planted it, and I went out a couple of days later, and I'm like, I think it's dead.
Uh-oh.
And he says, oh, maybe it's just kind of in shock from
being transplanted.
But it's dead.
It's dead.
So we have to dig that one up. But luckily we just planted it last year, so it's not big.
That's good. So, but I think that's about all. Just stitching along,
Stitching and sewing and quilting and
embroidery
and all the stuff.
All the stuff. Sewing, a little bit of sewing. So, do you want to start with, I know, previous finishes.
We're going to show some. I don't have a whole lot of spring finishes.
I have a few.
Because I don't typically stitch for spring, but.
The first one I have here is Scattered Seeds. This was in a club I was in 2 years ago. It was last year in 22. And this is called Spring Messenger. And it's just a great big pillow. And it came as a kit with all the finishing supplies. I have something on it. Glue. Great. And then it has this cute little pillow that goes with it with a little thread ring. And there's a little bird charm. So that's Scattered Seeds pattern. Want me to keep going here? I have a little pile. The rest of them, I have one Stacy Nash. This is Brenda Gervais, and this is an older one of hers, and I didn't pull the pattern. And to tell you the truth, I don't even remember what it's called, but you make this little bunny and you stitch the flowers on the bottom and then put the bunny on. That's kind of floppy because it's walnut shells, but it turns out really cute with this fluffy tail out of wool.
It's really cute.
And then there is this little spring chick.
Is that Brenda Gervais?
This is also with Thy Needle and Thread. Yeah, her patterns are wonderful. And it has the daffodils and a little rabbit, and then you make this little chick to go on top. And that's really cute. And then I just kind of ruched the ribbon and when I stitched it on. This also has walnut shells in it, so it's floppy.
Is this and that's an older pattern?
Yeah, the two are older.
So are they still on her website?
Yes.
Okay, so you can get a lot of her
stitches online.
Patterns on her website.
And then this is another one. Spring Peep is what this one's called. It has little pieces of fabric on it. And this is exactly how she had you finish it, with wool felt, and you cut the scallops and they came around the edges. And this is 1/1 on 32 count fabric with the called for colors and the called for linen. But it just turned out so cute, and it's so tiny. Just a little bitty guy. And that's another Brenda Gervais with Thy Linen and Thread.
With Thy
Needle and Thread. Yeah, that. And these are hers from the last couple years ago. The patterns came with the printed linen, and then the pattern for the eggs. I stuffed these with sawdust, and they aren't very, they're not a very good shape. They don't stay the right shape.
Cute.
But here's the pink one. So there are two different patterns that you cross stitch, and then you make the alphabet ones to go with them. So that's what that is.
That's what had this one upside down.
I did.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't think so. And then I have a little biscornu. And this was Tiny Modernist. And it's just this little tiny mini biscornu with a rabbit and some sheep. And you stitch the little hearts on the back. And biscornus look like they're really hard to do, but they're really not. They're really easy. You just have two flat squares, the bottom and the top. And when you go to stitch them together, instead of putting them like this, you turn them a quarter turn, and you start stitching with one corner in the middle, and you just stitch down, go around the corner and up, and it makes that funny edge. But you stitch a row of back stitches, and then on the top and the bottom. And then when you stitch them together, you just run your thread through the back stitches and it pulls it together.
Oh, so you don't go through the linen.
No, you don't even have to go through the linen. You just go through your back stitches. So you just have to count really good to make sure they're both exactly the same, the top and the bottom. And then you just put a little button in the middle and it pulls it in. So don't be afraid of doing a biscornu. They're really easy to do, and they look really hard when you're done, but they're fun. They're really fun to do. So that was a Tiny Modernist pattern. And then the last one I have is this Stacy Nash. Whoops. This was a little kit from last year's market, and Stacy's mom did the paper on the box, and then Stacy did the little pattern of the bird, which is so cute. And then a waxer came with it that Stacy's daughter made. I didn't bring the waxer, but I have the. And I just set it like this. When I set it down, it'll balance in there so that you can see the inside of the box. But it's just so cute. It's a really cute little spring pattern. So those are my previous finishes. What do you have?
I'm not a big spring stitcher, but I have a couple of things to show. So this is by Brenda Gervais, and I don't see people stitching these very often.
It's like I've never seen them.
It's called Sampler of the Seasons, and this is the spring one, and she has one for summer, autumn, and winter. And I have them all kitted up. And I stitched this last spring. I started the first day of spring, and my goal was to have it done by the first day of summer, and then I was going to start the summer one. Well, I didn't start the summer one because I think that's about the time I decided I was going to get all my whips done.
Oh, right.
Anyway, so this is, well, I could pull this out. This is not, so you can get a good, and I found these on her website.
Yeah, it's countrystitchesonline.com.
So my plan is, I think this year on the first day of summer, I'm going to start the summer one and have it done before autumn. Whoops. This is how I store all my charts, because I store them in binders, and so I store them in sheet protectors.
That's a good idea.
I take them out of the...
Takes up less room.
The plastic. And this is my finish.
Isn't it cute?
And it's 18 count 8. I think it's called caramel from Seraphim.
It is really cute.
And it was fast.
Was it?
I mean, you think with all the grass and stuff, but it wasn't too bad. I just outlined the grass, and then I went in and put all the little flowers and the rabbits, and then I just filled in, and it wasn't too bad.
It is very, very cute.
And I don't have any details. I pulled my own colors. They're very similar to the chart picture. But,
there's a string over here.
Anyway.
Cute. I love it. Just needs a framed.
Yep. I think I'm going to stitch all 4 of them before I get a frame.
That's a good idea, and try to frame them alike.
Yeah, frame them alike.
Or even use one frame and interchange them. Are they all the same size?
I think so.
Probably.
I could do that. I don't know. I haven't decided what I want to do with it either. So I don't know if I want to frame it or if I want to. I don't know. I don't know where I put it in my house really. So this one, I don't have the chart for it. It's called.
I can't remember.
It's called Where the Flowers Blossom.
A lot of people have stitched it recently.
Yeah, and it's by Brenda Gervais.
With thy needle and thread.
And I stitched this in 2021.
It's so pretty.
And she has you finish it in a tray. And I could not find the tray. So I thought, well, I'll just make it into this mat and do it in a different tray. And I don't like it. So I'm going to take this apart. And Cathy was in Hobby Lobby the other day. And she found this tray. And so when I take it apart, we've measured it. And
it will fit perfectly
in this. And I'll paint this red because I want it to be just like the picture, her pattern.
Lori Holt did hers that way, I think, too.
I think she framed hers.
Oh, did she frame hers? Yeah, maybe it was a different one she did in a tray.
I don't know. But anyway. And I do know that it's stitched on 18 count Mellow by Picture This Plus.
It is so cute, too. I love those flowers with the little... that has cross stitches around the outside
like straight stitches.
And the straight stitch. It just adds so much texture to them. They're really cute.
Yep, so.
Adorable.
Anyway, and I can't give you any other details on this because with all of Brenda Gervais patterns because she uses overdyes and I don't.
You use DMC on it?
So I just try to match the pattern.
It's so cute.
So anyway, that is going to be finished now that I have the tray.
So those are our previous finishes. You want to do whips?
Sure.
I have 2 whips and one I just started yesterday.
Okay. I'll let you go ahead and...
Where is it? Must be behind here. I just started this new Stacy Nash one. Birds of a Feather. Pin keep.
Is this one of her new ones?
Yeah, that was the only one I ordered of hers.
I didn't order any of these and I want all of them.
So this is as far as I am. Just at the beginning of, I'm doing the one with the big bird that goes on the front. So that's where I am so far. And I'm going to do the little birds for the back. There's actually 4 patterns in there. And that's supposedly the inside, but I'd rather do them for the another pin keep with them on the outside, show them the back.
I might have to borrow.
So there's 4 patterns all together. But this is the bird. I was going to show you, I always use this old hoop that I have. And I put it in kind of the opposite of what you'd think. I put
So you have the well in the front.
I have the well in the front. That way you can easily get your needle under your stitches even if you're close to the edge. Otherwise your needle hits the side and you can't get your thread under your stitches to finish it off.
You just don't have as much stitching room.
Right. So I do it the opposite and that helps.
Oh, I love it. Stacy Nash is my favorite.
She is. And yes, you can borrow it. And the colors are pretty. I keep all my overdyes in floss away bags. So it's hard to show the colors because they're in the bags, but there's raspberry and sanguine are the pinks. An Oscar and mascara, Havana, chickpea, and dolphin. They're all Weeks Dye Works, so I have those. And this is my thread bling from, what's the gal's name?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. I know she and Tara had a
Samplings of memories.
Sampling of memories. Yes, thank you. Sampling of memories. It's really cute. LaDonna. I can never remember LaDonna's name.
Hold it up. We're in camera. There you go.
And I better move the little charts. Yeah, it's really a cute one. Diamond Dyes. Samplings of memories. Okay, so that's that one. What do you got going?
Is that your only whip?
No, I have one more.
Go ahead and do all your whips, then I'll show my whips.
Okay, I just have 2 whips. The other one is Things Unseen. And I've shown it to you before. This is where I have made it to so far. Let me show you the pattern.
Here, I'll hold this.
Okay. So I still have the house to do and this little bottom strip. So I'm about, I don't know, half done.
Probably.
Yeah. And it's a fun one. I did have to take out these pink ones here. The symbol, one symbol for the pink goes one way, and the symbol for this like cocoa brown goes the other way, and all I saw was cocoa brown, so I did it all in brown, had to take it out. But I got it back in there. Now you have it finished.
More of the border.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do. Yeah. The border goes, it has little stripes that go all the way down.
You have to be careful on the border, though.
I noticed. It's not symmetrical.
Not. You can't just stitch and stitch and stitch because it has a little square in the middle of the border.
It does, like that little square up there. They're just somewhere. Yeah, they're not spaced. This whole pattern is kind of like that. It kind of is funky, but I like it because it is.
Cute.
So that's all my whips.
All right. I don't have a whole lot of whips.
She has gotten her whips down.
Because I have been finishing everything I've started. First one I'll show is this Mill Hill kit.
That's going to be cute.
I saw this and I just thought of my husband. And I thought, well, I'm going to stitch this for him and he can put it on his side of the bed in the camper. Because I'm decorating my camper, all my taste. And I thought, he has to have a little section. So I thought, he'll like this.
That is really going to be pretty when it's done.
And I worked on it.
It's perforated paper.
Three nights, I think. This is how much I got done.
So you're just doing the stitching so far. Water
and it's full coverage.
Yeah, it is.
So when I have these bigger Mill Hills, instead of stitching hand, I always do them in these stretcher bars. And I just tack them on the back. And, whoops. So, and this one I'm marking off the chart. I have to mark off the chart because they're just kind of, some of these stitches are just kind of sporadic in there.
Yeah, confetti. That's going to be so pretty when it's done.
And he's going to love it. I had all of this light color around here, so you could see the shape of the fish, but it was just the negative. I'm like,
guess what this is?
I says, look, can you tell me what this is? And at first he's like, mountains, clouds. I'm like, look at the negative
Look
space.
at the big thing in the middle.
He says, oh, it's a fish. So
that's going to be neat.
So there's whip number 1. I don't know where that string came from. It was in my bag.
Oh, I have strings everywhere.
And then whip number 2 is my Sunday stitch. And it is Madame LaFay. And I think it translates to a country life.
There we go. Now it's not so glary. It's really cute.
So I only work on this on Sundays. And I think, so up here are words, and it says, in English it says it's a country life or something like that. And I think I'm going to rechart it so it's in English, but I don't know that I want to put country life in there.
Oh.
So I'm trying to decide what I want to put in there. this is where I'm at.
It's a big one.
It is. I'm stitching it on 14 count. I don't know what. It's a printed fabric that's printed on one side.
Is it a fabric flare?
It's not fabric flare. It's just Zweigart.
Oh, okay.
But it's printed on one side, kind of like Vintage Country Mocha.
Oh, so it's modelly on one side a little bit.
So it's kind of got a little brown, tannish modeling in it. But I think
you've come a long way.
I think last time I showed it, I just had maybe this done.
Yeah. You've gotten all of this done since I've seen it, and this. Well, you were working on the basket. I think you had just started the basket. Yeah. So you've gotten all that done.
This up here took me 2 Sundays.
Yeah, that is a lot of confetti.
There is like 5 different colors of green in there.
And even this is a lot of gray and white.
But it's more blocky.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. This was like
that's really confetti.
This up here was really confetti.
That is so cute.
So I've got top to bottom. And then there's a whole section over here that I still have to stitch.
That's going to be so cute.
It's so pretty. It is such a fun chart to stitch. It's just a lot of fun.
That is adorable.
And I'm using all the called for DMC. That's what it calls for is DMC.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the ladybug. I just noticed the ladybug down here in the daisies. That's cute.
So, yeah. So there's a big pair that goes right here.
Where's the chart? I could hold it up.
And then there's so I can't wait to do it.
Or the pear and a loaf of bread.
The bee.
The bee is up there. And a pear, and then a coffee pot or a teapot and a cup and a loaf of bread.
The teapot will
goes in the right there.
Here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be so cute.
Yeah, and then you have the loaf of bread, and then there's another ladybug and.
Oh, now where the key is, it looks like a ribbon goes on there.
Yeah,
3-dimensional.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say you didn't stitch the ribbon, but it goes on the top.
Yeah, it stitches on the top, and it comes with this charm, but there's nowhere on the chart
for a little rabbit
that the charm goes on. So I just kind of think that because I have other charts of theirs, and there's a charm in every chart. I think it's just
they just give you a charm.
They include. So
it's really cute.
I probably will maybe stick it on somewhere.
It is adorable.
Anyway,
you could hang it off the key.
I could, huh?
Mm-hmm. That is so cute.
Anyway, and then my only other whip is my new start that I started last night.
Oh, last night? I don't know what this is.
It's with Needle and Thread by Samplers Not Forgotten.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, and the little spools kind of make the border and scissors. Oh, that's cute.
So
I haven't seen that one before.
I started in the middle, and it's done on, the fabric is, what's it called? I looked it up.
Was it a kit?
No. It's Vintage Misty Rain.
Oh.
But it's Lakeside Linens.
That's pretty.
But I just pulled out some 18 count that I had that looks just like the fabric.
It does. Good match.
And I thought about like over dyeing it just to kind of give it a little bit model, but I thought, nope, I'm just going to leave it just how it is. So
very cute. That's going to be really pretty.
And this is a total thread conversion. Very similar to the picture.
Uh-huh. From what were they overdyed to DMC?
She didn't have a DMC conversion.
Okay, so you did your own.
And they were Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. So I did my complete own conversion.
Good job.
On it. So I'm using DMC, and I do have a couple of color and cotton. Like the green is color and cotton. And it does have just a very little modeling in it.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be pretty.
So pretty.
It is. I love the blue.
So this is what I'm working. This is my focus for this week. Whoops, that dropped it. And
now, how is your whip count from July of last year? What are you down to?
I think I have 10, 11.
10 left?
10 or 11.
You're getting down there.
And those are just the older whips. Those don't include the 2 starts that I had. And then, so I pulled out a focus piece for April.
Out of your whips, right?
Out of my whips.
Your old whips.
And I finished it. And I'll show it if I can remember which one it was.
And have you pulled out another one?
And so so I pull 2 a month. My other one for this month is, where's the chart?
Ooh, A Told in a Garden.
Is Grandmother's House.
Oh, fun. Well, I haven't seen that one done for a long time.
Yep, and I dyed my own fabric. Let me see if I can find it in here. In my book. I have my book.
I have mine.
Let me see. I know I wrote it in here. 16.
Here it is.
Okay, so I started this in April of last year, and I dyed it, and I used evening blue, and I think I used taupe, but I'm not sure. It's 14 count, and 14 count is actually the called for fabric. 14 count 8 is the called for fabric, and that's where I'm at.
Right in the middle of the porch.
Yep. So this will be my focus for the rest of April. So I'll work on this. It'll come out next week. I'm going to give my new start a week. So using all the called for DMC.
That's going to be really cute.
It is.
I haven't seen that really finished for so long.
And then in the same bag, I have this one, Grandpa's.
Oh, the barn. Oh, that'll be fun to do them together.
Yeah. And so when I dyed this fabric, I just dyed 2 pieces.
Good idea.
And on these, I don't know. So I started in the middle. But I don't think I'm going to put Grandmother's House. And I don't think I'm going to put this up here. But I might kind of just extend the roof up just a little bit. And then when I frame it, I'll find a frame that kind of just goes right
against it.
Right against it.
That's very cute. Excuse me.
So it will be my focus. So when you see this next time, it's going to have a lot of work done on it.
Can't wait.
So, and that's
the whips.
That's my whips.
Okay, do you want to do finishes that aren't fully finished?
Sure.
Okay. I have a couple. I did finish. I ironed this, but it doesn't look like it. I did finish their song. This was the chart that I could never get a hold of, and it was my unicorn chart, and a sweet Jackie loaned me her pattern, and I got it all stitched, and I love it. My husband's got a frame he's making for it, so I need to get it framed. And I have what did I do with all the patterns?
Right here.
Those go with those. Where's the rest of them? Oh, no. Oh, I mailed it back to her. I don't have it. I mailed it back. That's right. I can't show you the pattern because I mailed it back. So that's that one. Okay, then the other whip I have is this little guy. And this is...
finish.
Or finish, yeah. Sorry, not a whip. And this is with a needle and thread that came out around market called Spring Awakens. And I finished this yesterday. And here, I'll hold it closer. It's just little. And I had bought a 4x6 frame before I finished it. And it's too big to go in the 4x6 frame.
Oh, really?
Yes. And where did I put... Here it is. Here's the pattern for it. But I have this little paper mache book, and it will fit on the front of it just perfectly. So I'm going to paint the paper mache book and put it on the front of that. So
very cute. Here, show the book.
Whoops. Yeah, those are fun because you can stand them any which direction you want. And they're like $1.99 or something at Hobby Lobby. So I've finished several things on them. And then you can put little stuff inside if you want to.
That's so cute. Did you put the...
Oh, I haven't put the wagon pull on it. Look, it has a string for the wagon pull. I need to do that. That little robin is the most adorable little thing. See, it's in a little wagon. So I need to put the rope on it into her hand. Huh, good catch. I had forgotten all about, or his hand, I guess. I had forgotten all about it right there. Ha!
Cute.
Okay.
So cute.
I think that's all I have that's finished but not fully finished. Yep. What do you got there?
Okay, you ready for this?
She's got a slew.
All right.
Get these put back on here so they don't get too wrinkled.
So for my oh, where'd this pin come from?
Oh, I think it goes in one of my. It goes in my little chicken here.
Okay.
It probably fell
out. So for April or for March, I was stitching on Song of the Seasons by Little House Needleworks. It was a mystery. It was originally a mystery sampler, so you have to buy it in like 3 different parts. So I finished this one for March. So I met both my March goals of getting my whips finished. It's stitched on 18 count driftwood, and I think it's by Color and Cotton.
That's so cute.
Yeah. And using I did a total floss conversion on this one.
Very cute.
So
good colors.
So that was a finish, and when I finished that one, I still had time in the week to do something. And in that same bag, I had this chart. It's called Hands to Work by Little House Needleworks.
Oh, that's cute.
So this is stitched on a piece of 18 count vintage country mocha. Hang on, I'm going to move this stuff because I think it's messing with our light.
I'm going to put, there we go.
Okay. And just a scrap piece that I had. It's very small. I think I have a frame. I think it will fit in a 5x5 frame.
It looks like it.
Yep. And I used all the colors from Song of the Seasons.
Oh, you just used
I just used the same threads that were in the bag.
That's cute.
So I did that one, and then I was thinking I started something else. Oh, I did. Had I started this?
I think you had barely started it in our last one.
So I pulled this one out. Let me take out the bag.
Yeah, I think you had the outline.
I'm trying to do these in order. I don't think it's going to work. So I had started this one, and so I pulled it out, and I finished it.
Those are so fun. Little Mill Hill kit.
And I'm not going to fully finish it until we take our camper out of winterization, because I don't know if I want to make an ornament out of it to hang off a doorknob or if I want to make a magnet. So I finished that. Then I still had time in March. So I thought, well, let me see if I can find another project that I have kitted up and start it. And so I pulled out this one.
And I want to stitch that
Live
one.
a Humble Life. It's by October House.
I've never seen that one by them, and I love them.
And this came out in 2019.
Oh, okay. I really like that one.
So there you go.
Oofda.
And I stitched it and finished it.
It's so cute.
Started and finished it.
I just love it.
This is using a DMC conversion.
They have it on there.
And I think I did use their conversion.
Okay.
I used their DMC conversion.
It is adorable.
And I thought, and it's stitched on just
14.
a Swigart, it's called Parchment, but it's just Swigart 14 count. And I had it kitted up, so I just used this fabric. I kind of wish I'd have used 18 count, because then I could have made it into a drum. But this
that would be big drum.
This would be a huge drum, because I even like measured it, and it would be the size of a plate.
So cute, though.
So I don't know what I'll do with it.
I love the colors, pink and red,
and
green. Those are my fave.
So I finished
adorable. Ooh, I can't wait to stitch it.
And then this was also a March finish. It was a March old whip that I pulled out, and it was a goal to finish it.
This is what got me stitching mine, because I just love this.
It's called Things Unseen by Lizzie Kate.
It was a mystery sampler, and it comes in 3 parts.
So if you buy the chart, you have to get all 3 parts to get the whole chart.
You can still get it from 1, 2, 3 stitch.
I bought an embellishment pack. So when I bought my chart, I bought it when Lizzie Kate was still in business, still designing charts. And my chart is better.
I got the chart after Lizzie Kate retired, and it's like her chart is on a cream color, nice, not cardstock, but a heavy paper with its brown or tan printing, right?
Kind of like a parchment paper.
Yeah, and brown printing, and it's nice. My chart is a black and white copy of that on copy paper. I was kind of disappointed in that, because I could have made the same copy at home, but I had to pay for it. And I don't know, I was a little disappointed. I think they could have done a better job printing.
Yeah, so just a word of warning, caution that if you get it, there are a little bit of issues, but
you can still read it.
And the embellishment pack is not the same either.
No.
We were looking, so my embellishment came with these big buttons, and hers
just has the little flower itself, just a little pink and green part.
So on the chart, it tells you to put the flower like this. So I put one like this and one like this. And I think this one looks upside down. So I'm going to take that one off and turn around.
But yeah, you're right. See, the little squares, they aren't symmetrical.
Yeah, they're just kind of
random. They kind of random space them. It's kind of a wonky one.
Yeah, and I learned the hard way, because I had stitched like clear down here. And then, anyway.
I would have left it because it's wonky anyway. I probably wouldn't have taken it out. Because I'm lazy like that.
So so both my March goals were met, and I'm so excited. You far exceeded your expectations. So what happens if I do a week rotation at a time. So if I have, like, this was in my rotation and I ended up finishing it, I still have a few days. So so a lot of times that's when I do a new start or whatever.
Pull out something else that she finishes.
And so because I still had time, maybe in that week, I don't know, I decided, so I showed you the Taco Mill Hill kit, right?
She's on this Mill Hill food kit.
I am.
It makes us hungry.
So I did the taco for my daughter for her birthday. And so then I thought, I'm going to do one for my other daughter. And so I sent her a message, and I says, don't ask questions, but tell me what your favorite is of all these. And I listed hamburger, root beer float, lemonade, ice cream sundae, taco, pie. I mean, they have a whole list. Anyway, and she says, okay, ice cream.
Banana split.
So I made this for her. Her birthday's not till May, so I'm ahead of the game. But I had time to start it, so I started one. And of course,
they're so cute.
I had to make me one too.
There's always enough to do too in the kit.
So there's enough to do too. So this one is mine, and it uses the Mill Hill Treasure with the little heart on it. And there's only one Mill Hill Treasure in there, so this one is hers. And I just put a little heart on it that says "Made with Love."
They're so cute.
So I just have to fully finish them, and
I want a banana split.
Right? I'll put a magnet on it, and then she can put it on her fridge.
Those are so cute. Yeah, those are the food ones on the fridge is a cute idea.
So anyway.
But I'd always be looking at him going, ice cream.
Right?
Your daughter, Megan's probably going, tacos.
Well, she thinks tacos all the time, so whatever. Okay, and then for April, for my old whips, I pulled out the grandmother's house, and the other one I pulled out was Happy Camper by Lori Holt, and I finished it.
It is so cute. And that's going to go in the camper.
And this will go in my camper. So on the original chart, it had another row of trees down here, and I wasn't going to stitch that like that anyway. But look at this. If I had wanted to have stitched them, I couldn't have.
Because you turned it upside down or something.
I always start in the middle of the charts. Very
I
rarely
do too.
I start in a corner.
I usually start in the middle. So I started
in the middle of the chart, but I didn't start in the middle of the fabric.
I know you didn't.
Because even if I would have, because I started in the middle of the chart, so even if I had done it upside down, this would
the camper needs to be where the trees are. Did you start? No, you started in the middle. I don't know. And then you made this cute little dog.
Oh yes, so this had a cat, and I'm not a cat person. And I don't have a cat, so I changed it into a dog.
She texted me and said, "How do I make this into a dog?" And I looked at it and I thought, "Look at his tail. Just turn it upside down and make it 2 ears."
So that's what I did. And I tried stitching it in the color of my dog. He's white with some gray in that, and it just was not showing up. So, I mean, it shows up in the camper, but it's a big chunk.
Yeah. And
he just wasn't showing up.
So cute, though.
Anyway, so I'm going to frame it and put it in my camper. And it's a stitched on 14 count, like fiddler's cloth.
Fiddler's cloth,
They call it
rustico now. Yeah, it used to be fiddler's cloth.
So, those are my finishes.
Okay, those are all the finishes.
So all my whips that I have left, though, are probably not ones I'll get done in the month because they're
all big.
And they only have a little bit of stitching on them. Like some of them have 1 day worth of stitching. So.
Oh. Okay, well now what do you want to do? Fully finished?
Sure.
Okay. Well, let's see. What do I have here? They're all up here, I think.
Okay. You go ahead.
Okay.
I'll show mine.
You guys saw me stitching on these 2. Well, I'll start one at a time. This one is Plum Street Samplers, My Peaceful Home. This is the chart. My Peaceful Home. And I got it fully finished into a drum. Yay! I got Lady Dot Creates velveteen that matched. And then this is vintage, the color's vintage. To go around the top. I actually got the blue that it called for, and it doesn't match my velveteen. I don't know if I got the wrong color velveteen or the wrong color of chenille, but the 2 didn't match, and I had some vintage from her, so I just used that instead.
That's so cute.
So that's a fat little
drum. Do you stitch this on the bottom?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, you did such a good job.
Thank you. They're fun to make.
So cute.
And then I finished, you'd seen the stitching for this one, and so I finished it into the tomato, and it's with my needle and thread, Pennsylvania Dutch tomato pin keep.
She did such a good job, you can't even tell where the...
Well, that was the trick, the seam. The seam runs right down the middle. I stitched that by hand. First.
Looks good. It's hard.
Thank you.
You can't even hardly see it.
Because there was no way I could do it on the machine and make it be exact. So I slip stitched back and forth each square.
Can you tell where it's at? I can't.
Go around. Right, oh, it's right there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was right down the middle. Brenda, that was naughty. On this one, it ends and you have a space. I guess I could have made it smaller and put these 2 together, but I thought, no, I don't want to have to line that up. On that one, you really have to line it up.
So cute.
Now, it calls for this candlestick, and I didn't have one, so I haven't put it on the candlestick, but I did do the tomato on top, and I still have to put my little strawberry together. But it's fun.
I might have to do this one.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
It's so cute.
Here, I'll trade you. You can borrow that one while I borrow your other one. But yeah, this was Red Velveteen from Lady Dot Creates. And I ordered this pattern from Dying to Stitch, and they had the velveteen. When I ordered it on the phone, she said, we have the velveteen that matches. Do you want the velveteen? Oh, yeah. So I got it at the same time. So, and it's pretty firm.
It feels like walnut shells.
It is. What I use is cotton batting stuffing, which I love now. And the only trouble with cotton batting stuffing is that it is so dense that you can't stick a pin in it. I mean, it's weird. You think it's like polyfill or something, but it's just really dense. And so I started with about a half an inch of the cotton batting in the bottom and really pounded it in, then filled it with walnut shells, and then stuffed it like this high probably with the cotton batting and squished it down as I sewed around it so that it made the top firm like the bottom. So
is that what you did on both of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Same finish. So they're heavy.
They are.
And they're
so pretty.
They stay together. So that's those two things. And then I was stitching all my little Easter things. This is Holiday Hoopla from With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And this is in a little 3.5-inch hoop. Can't move this. And you just stitch it. And then she has you put some scrapbook paper on a piece of cardboard and then cut it out and glue it on the back and put a ribbon at the top and away you go. So that's a really easy finish.
That's cute.
Yeah, and it's stitched in like 1, maybe 2 evenings.
Is it over 2?
It's over 2 on 36 count. Okay. And then I did whisper for the tail. Yeah. This next one of hers, this one has whisper too. This one is one that was released a year ago after market or at market.
Everybody's been stitching this.
Yeah, the rabbit and the rose. And I found this cute little frame at Home Goods, and it's just a 4x6 frame. I had to leave the glass on this one though because the little dealies on the back weren't holding it in. I guess I could have put another piece of cardboard behind it or something. Yeah, I should have put mat board behind it. But I thought it matched pretty well in that.
And this one's stitched over 1, right?
Yeah, this is over 1 on 25 count Lugana, and it was called Country. And it was some Lugana I got at Hobby Lobby, that Artiste brand, which is Weigart. And I just really like it has little flecks in it.
That's what I bought when I was going to try that one over 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
It is really nice to stitch on. It stitches up really good. And then the last one I did were the robins that came out this year. So I have the robins and the bunnies from this year both done. And I found this little frame at Home Goods too, which was kind of perfect with the colors and all. And they stitched up really cute. I love the birds. So, and these little frames at Home Goods, I think, were $5.99, which I thought for $6, that's a cute finish. And it's so easy to do. I put quilting behind, or batting behind this one, because I took the glass off. So I could put some batting on it. So
cute.
Those are my new little spring things all finished. And then, should I show my sewing finishes, or should we wait?
We'll show them.
We'll show them later. Okay, well that's all.
Oh, you have more finishes though.
Oh, I do. I have 2 bags. Goodness. I had shown you this one from Shepherd's Bush that I stitched on the bag. Well, I decided to put a border on it just because it looked like it was floating. So you've already seen this one, except that I put the border on it later. And then I called them up, and they had this Queen Bee one. They stitched it on the turquoise bag, or aqua, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't have the aqua. I had a gray bag. But I think it looks cute on it too. So it's all finished, and I put the little border on it. It just kind of makes it look like it's not floating in thin air. But these are really fast. I think I stitched, it's like 2 evenings and you're done. And this is a mesh bag that you can get from Fat Quarter Shop, or Shepherd's Bush has them. If you call them, they'll kit up the whole thing for you. And it's stitched with number 5 pearl cotton. And some of it's Weeks Dye Works and some of it is DMC. But they have all the colors, and all you have to do is call them and say, I want to do the queen bee one. They've got a quilt one, the stitch one. They've got 7 or 8. I don't think I've seen them all. They have quite a few. And they just are on cards like this. And they also have a little pin cushion and a scissor fob pattern too. Both of them do. So there's 2 extra things. I haven't made them yet. But I really think the bags turn out cute for project bags. Really cute. And these are the bags that have the bottoms in them. So they really will hold quite a lot of stuff. I like them a lot. A gusset. Yes, a gusset. Whoops, that's the back. That's the front. So these are really fun. I've really enjoyed doing these. They're fast, and you get a great big thing when you're done. It's just because you're stitching over 2 on this mesh, and it's probably about 8 count maybe, because it's big. These are big stitches.
Yep.
Maybe 10, I don't know. I didn't measure how many stitches there were in an inch. 6, 7, 8, 9. How about 9? That's about an inch. Mm-hmm. It comes out to about 9. Yep. But they're fun. Okay, that's all the cross stitch finishes. All right.
I have 2 fully finishes.
Ooh, and they're good ones.
First one is, it's called Orchard Valley Quilting Bee by Little House Needlework.
This is the one that our viewers chose for her to
as
a Sunday stitch
so I
finish.
Finished it last fall.
Yep.
I actually finished it in, I think, December.
I think so.
December.
And you just got it framed?
And
that's a nice frame.
Yeah, and I was out going through my frames, and I pulled this out, and I'm like, oh, it's like perfect.
It is perfect.
And I did it myself. I framed it myself.
Good job.
That. And I put a library card on the back. And on this one, I put the information.
Can we hold it?
Yes. That I personalized it, so I changed it to So Cozy Quilting and Stitching, because my Instagram handle is So Cozy Stitching. And it's going to hang on the wall as you walk into my sewing room. And then on the original pattern, it had the 3 ladies, or the 4 ladies, and they had names under them. And so I chose to move the ladies down so they were even with the pot, and then I just retook this border down here and put it up. And so on my cards, I have an extra card in here, and I have the names of quilting and stitching friends.
Because that's what the names were originally on there.
So, and I have too many friends to put on here, so I decided I'll just put them on a card in the back. So
that turned out so pretty. Good job.
Love it.
Ready to hang. And this other one is marvelous.
And this is my pride and joy.
I can see why. It's a big one.
This is A Savior's Praise by the Shakespeare's Peddler. Here, hold it back just a little bit. And it's a thrift store frame, and I repainted it and waxed it.
It's gorgeous.
This was my Sunday. I started this on Easter Sunday in April of 2021, and then I stitched on it every Sunday that April, and then it got put away. And so I pulled it out in January of 2022, and this was my Sunday stitch. And I finished it in June of 2022.
Wow.
And I knew I wanted to personalize this one And as I was stitching it, because a lot of times I'll know I want to personalize them, but I won't know how until as I'm stitching it, then it kind of comes to me. That's maybe kind of weird. I don't know. But so I'm going to tell you about the personalization on this.
Up at the top, or where do you want to go?
Okay, we'll start at the top. Okay, so this is personalized. Whoops.
Drop it on your head.
So this is personalized for my great grandparents. It would be my mom's parents. So my mom's maternal grandparents. So Isaac Jacob Larson was my great grandfather. Delilah Jane Stone was my great grandmother. And I chose to put her maiden name on this one. And then, so up here at the top, this date right here, it had, the original pattern had, I think the year
Let's go down just a little bit.
The year you stitch it, or it had something here. And so I changed it to 1877, which was the birth year of my great-grandfather. And then right here, it just had some motifs. And so I took them out and did 1881, which was the birth year of my great-grandmother. And then right here at the bottom, I stitched 1903, which was the year they were married. Okay. Then what I did is, right here is 2022. That's the year I finished it. Up here in the alphabet, I stitched the N and the W in blue for my initials. I did take a little bit of liberty, because this is a song, it's a hymn. I did take a little bit of liberty and I changed a word. Because this is for not just my great-grandmother, but for my great-grandparents, I changed the word mother right here to parents.
Oh, okay.
And then they had 8 children. Of those 8 children, every one of them lived to be, some of them died of old age. In fact, most of them did. But they all lived to be adults and get married and have their own kids. And Anyway,
nice.
So, which back in, in the early 1900s, that was
an achievement.
It was common to
lose
a child. So what I did is so they have 8 kids. There were 8 trees.
Perfect.
So the red birds are the siblings of my grandmother. And then this one is stitched in blue to represent my grandmother. I did change all the white to yellow because the white was not showing. So the house was supposed to be in white, but it wasn't showing.
Now, who are all these people?
So these are all of the kids, my great-grandparents' kids, and their initials. So this, I stitched all the girls in a light brown and all the boys in a darker.
Okay.
And this child is the only one that did not have a middle name.
Oh.
So, anyway. So, all the girls are stitched in the light brown except for my grandma, which is
in blue.
Clara Evelyn. And she is stitched in blue. The same color as blue as my initials and the bird.
That is so pretty.
And the other color I changed on here was the red. Because it was more of a mauve color. So it's called for anchor floss. And I use the DMC conversion. And other than the red, I changed the red. And then I changed, it was like ecru or what, I don't know. But it was not showing up on my fabric. I don't know the fabric color. I did not write. This is
looks like maybe ivory or antique.
Yeah, it's 18 count. I know that. But I don't know.
You did a great job framing.
But anyway,
just beautiful.
And I did do. I'm gonna pull this out and show this part. Make sure there's nothing there. Okay, so I did do a library card on the back. Do you want to hold that?
I'll hold it. Yep.
Okay. And I put the information, all the information I just shared with you, I put on the library card. Well, I put some things on the library card, and then I actually, because it wasn't big enough, I typed up all of the details I just told
good idea.
and put it, and I listed all the kids' names with their middle names.
Good idea.
And then I went through pictures, and I didn't have, so when my grandmother passed away, they cleaned out her house, and they put a lot of stuff into storage because 2 brothers couldn't be there to go through the stuff. And anyway, the storage unit that they put them in, my sister owned.
Oh.
And so she went in and got all of my grandma's pictures.
Oh.
And she took them down and photocopied them. And this is just when color copiers were starting to come out. But she knew when all those pictures got separated that, you know, how many would we get, and, you know. So she took all the pictures.
Good idea. And
she just copied them onto regular paper, but she did color copies. And so I went through those and cut out the pictures of my great-grandparents.
How fun.
So this is their wedding picture.
Wow.
And that's when they were older.
Probably a wedding anniversary.
Yeah. Oh. And so I didn't know my great-grandfather. My great-grandmother died when I was like 5 years old. And when she got elderly, she kind of moved around and spent just a few months. We can put this down. And spent a few months at each of her kids' homes. Mm-hmm. And so I remember her being at my grandmother's house.
Oh, okay.
And I remember, the only other thing I remember is when she passed away, I wasn't tall enough to see inside the casket. And I remember going over to their casket and put my hands on the side and going up on my tiptoes and looking in the casket. But I do have a picture of her holding me when I was a newborn baby. But it's a horrible picture, and so I didn't put it in.
Those are great pictures.
But this one, I don't know how old she was passed away, but she lived to be past 90, because that is
her 90th.
Her 90th birthday.
How fun.
So I don't have the best of pictures, but I still can include pictures in with the story.
That's great.
So
that is really fun.
So this is truly an heirloom.
It is.
All right.
Okay.
That is my cross stitch fully finishes.
Okay, I have 2 sewing fully finishes. I have this. This is the pattern.
This is so cute.
It's called Bodobo bags. And they look pretty big in that picture, but this is how big they are. They're these tiny little bags. They'd be fun just to put little stitchy things in. And it was really easy to make. I quilted all the fabric first. You quilt it flat, and then you just make a little box out of it. Put a zipper on both sides and a little D-ring in it. You could hang it from a project bag or anything you wanted to hang it from, but they just make the cutest little bags.
Little bag. It is. It's really cute.
It's adorable.
It's so tiny. I mean, like, okay, seriously, look at this. This is what, 3 by
5, probably.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's just tiny. Yeah, they're very fun. There's bigger sizes, or there's just that little tiny one. I just loved the little tiny one. And then the other thing I made, I needed something for my stitchy chair with a pin cushion and some pockets. So I just made one. I just drew a pattern and put some pockets in here. The background fabric is this gray. And then when I did the binding, I sewed one side of the pin cushion, stuffed it. It has walnut shells. And sewed the other side in the binding as I came around. And just made little pockets and one big pocket, like a pattern. You could stick your pattern in here if you wanted, or whatever. So and just hangs over the, this is the back. Yeah. And I just quilted the fabric together before I cut it out. And then I cut it out and finished it. So it was fun. It just goes over the arm of the chair.
So cute.
Very easy. So
very cute.
That's what I've been doing. Thanks. So that's all I got.
Right. So
Miss Quilter over here has a pile.
I do.
Oh, she's got embroidery too.
So I'm making this quilt. I showed it last time.
That's what I forgot to bring was my embroidery book. I'm up to like page 8.
Oh, yes,
I forgot. You're up to 7 or something.
I think I'm finished 6. So I'm making this quilt.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed, which one did I do first? I showed this one last time.
The bowl of cherries,
the bowl of cherries last time.
Or the cherubolies or whatever it is.
And then I did the aprons. So there's those. So when I was stitching this, I realized that when you color it, you actually put like little X's with the pencil on. This has little hashtags. And I'm not coloring mine.
Right.
So I couldn't decide if I wanted to add those little X's or whatever. And I chose not to. I just decided I liked it like this. So here's the first one.
And these are all blocks that go in the
quilt.
finished quilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And these are, do you remember what stitch that was? But it looks like a little rose.
Is it the wheel, where you weave it through the wheel?
It's like a
spider web.
Spider web. I think it's spider web wheel.
I think it's a spider web.
I did that one, but these two were tricky because they were only half ones.
Oh.
So I had to kind of fudge a little bit on that one.
Those are cute.
So that's the first one.
Ooh, that one's pretty.
And this is the second one. And I did the little rosettes on that one too.
So we are using our embroidery stitches that we have
So
learned. Amy under the garden moon.
I talked to you this past week.
I talked to her a couple weeks ago.
She probably doesn't watch our videos.
She probably doesn't.
But Amy, I am using them.
We learned and we're using them.
So there's that one and then this one.
Those are so cute.
And the pattern didn't have the cherries on this pocket, but I put cherries on that pocket.
That's cute.
So I did that one, and then the next one was, this one was kind of boring to do. So this one had the beaters and the measuring spoons.
Those are the best beaters. I still have one of those that I use for scrambled eggs.
I used one of these growing up. I have my mom.
Yeah. I still use it.
I don't use it, but
just brrr.
They do. They make the best
the
scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. Fluffy eggs.
So I did.
Beats a lot of air into
this
them.
One.
Cute.
But these were kind of boring to do because they're all
they're just backstitch.
Well, they're just all one color other than the handles. And then this was the other one.
The
This
teaspoons.
is the way it goes.
Measuring spoons. Cute.
And then the last one is what I'm working on now, which is that one.
Cherry pie. My favorite. You're always doing these food things that make me hungry.
And I'm not a fan of cherry pie.
Oh, it's my very favorite.
And so this is where I'm at
Love
on
a cherry
this one.
pie.
So I just have the bird.
Oh, it's up here.
The bird and the cherry stems.
Here's the bird.
Left to do.
Cute.
And then on this one, I did a specialty stitch. This one is the buttonhole wheel or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then these three are just colonial knots.
Which is my new favorite knot.
Or no,
French.
that's a tiny. That's
a tiny wheel.
That's a tiny wheel, and then the bottom two are French.
Colonials.
Colonial knots. So anyway.
Cute.
So cute. And I'm using it calls for Cosmo Floss, and I'm using Cosmo Floss on it. And I'm so excited because it's going to be such a cute quilt.
It's going to be so cute.
It's going to be so done. And I'm going to use my Lori Holt cookbook fabric.
Perfect, because colors all go with that.
It's going to be perfect.
It is. That's adorable.
Right. And then I've been doing some quilting. So
every day.
Okay, so I did have the babies. That was we're gonna pause for a moment and talk about this.
She sent me a text. I need reinforcements.
They were ganging up on me. So
They're crawling.
they are the best babies. They are so good, and they're good sleepers. So like I would put them down for a nap, and they would sleep for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
So
That's really good.
Yeah, and then at night, I would put them down at 8 o'clock at night. They would wake up about midnight, and I would just give them a bottle, and they'd go right back to sleep. And then they would wake up about 5, and I would change their diaper, give them another bottle, and they'd go right back to sleep till about 8 o'clock.
Excellent.
So they were good sleepers. But I'm not used to waking up. Once I go to sleep, I'm not used to waking up during the night. Anyway, and they weren't crawling, but they were rolling everywhere. So
scooting.
I had my living room all barricaded so they couldn't roll out of the living room. Anyway, so it was quite interesting at my house. But then, so I had them Monday night. She brought them over Monday night because they got up early Tuesday morning to go to the hospital. She had to be in Salt Lake for her pre-op. And then I had him, and then her husband was there, and he came home after she was out of surgery and out of recovery because he had to work. And so he came and got the kids Friday morning. And I was starting to get some vertigo. So I suffer from vertigo.
Yeah.
Because I have since the late 90s. I've got it. And once you get vertigo, you
never get rid of it.
You always have it. Anyway, I think when I look up a lot and when I'm bending over looking down is when it really affects me. And I was bending over a lot with the babies. And so Thursday night I started kind of getting some vertigo, and Friday morning it was quite bad. I didn't trust myself to drive. Anyway, so he came and got the babies, and then my husband and I went and ran a couple of errands and went and had breakfast and ran a couple of errands. I came home and I laid down. I slept for 4 hours. I never take a nap, ever.
She was zonked.
And I was out. I did not hear my phone ring or text. My husband, he left again to go pay some bills. I didn't hear him leave. He took my dog to the vet. I didn't hear him leave to take the dog to the vet. We had an electrician come in our house and fix a wiring problem we were having. I did not hear the electrician even show up. I was out for 4 hours. And then we went to dinner that night with some friends, and we got home about 11 o'clock. I went straight to bed, and I was out again until like 9 o'clock the next morning. So, yeah. Anyway, now they're starting to crawl.
And, they are crawling.
And little Larry, he has just in the past 2 days, he's sitting up. Like
he'll crawl and stop and sit.
He will start to crawl, and then he will sit himself up. So
and they're 9 months.
They turn 9 months on April 1st.
Wow.
So
they're doing good.
Anyway, so I did get. I mean, I got a lot done, but I didn't do any sewing that whole week I had them. And then the next week, I only had them. I got them Monday morning, and I only had them till Tuesday afternoon because she got home that
Monday night. Yeah.
Anyway, so then I've been sewing.
She caught up.
So I think before the last video, I had my March coriander block to do, and I did it.
Oh, that's a pretty one.
So this was done before I had babies.
That's pretty.
And then this past week, I was able to get the
April
one done.
Very nice.
This is going to be a gorgeous quilt.
It is.
And then I was able to get, for the Sew Sampler quilt I'm doing.
The spools?
The Sew Sampler. So Scrappy Spools?
Spool quilt, I think.
I didn't bring the pattern over. I'm sorry. So I was able to get the blocks for, what month are we in? April?
We're in April.
March, done. So these. So I did 4 of these ones.
1, 2.
And I am using just all scraps from my Lori Holt quilts I've done. Because I buy, on her applique ones, I just buy the whole kit.
You always have left.
All this fabric is left over, which these don't take that much fabric, but they're all left over from those. So it's fun to do these because I'm like, oh, this is flea market. And this one is from her Autumn Love, which you can't get Autumn Love fabric anymore. I wish she would do it.
Cute.
I wish she would do it.
Another autumn one.
And then
those heart ones are cute.
These are March. These are still March. And these two are the same. Same fabric, just opposite.
Mm-hmm. Those are cute.
And then I didn't have my... No, those are my April ones.
Okay, those are March.
Those are my April ones. Those I've gotten done. These are my March ones. So
these are
March
patriotic.
There's 3 flags.
Cute.
And so I was able to get these ones done. And I did do these ones before babies. The other ones were after. And so on this flag quilt, it doesn't say this in the book, but one of the spools in the pattern, because you lay them, when you do the spools,
they kind
of lay like this when you lay them out in the thing.
Yeah, they go kind of sideways and then up and then
so
sideways.
One of these flags actually should have been so that I could, when it goes in the pattern, it goes like this. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's just random.
They're square, right?
Yeah, they're all the same size and they're just random anyway. So, but there was 3 flags. And then there was 4 of this one.
That's a cute one.
These are tiny, tiny pieces. Most of the pieces in this quilt are 1.5 inch squares.
So you aren't using a lot of your scraps then. Cute.
And so what I'm doing is because this whole drawer right here was just packed full
of
scraps. And so since I'm not using very many, I'm doing another quilt that's in her Scrappiness is Happiness book. And there's one in there that's using a significant amount, but I'm still going to have a lot of scraps left. I can't, they're multiplying. I cannot get rid of all these scraps.
And every time you do a new quilt, you get more.
And so, but my goal is to have this drawer emptied because I want to do her new, it's called Hometown. It's her new line that comes out in August, and she's going to do an applique house quilt with it. It starts in September. So my goal is to have this whole drawer cleared out by then so that I can start filling it up with, because I have a lot of her kits.
Look.
So anyway.
And then you got these bound, didn't you?
I have this one.
I love that one.
This is Esther's Bloomers.
Oh,
it is not quilted, but it is put together. I have never been so happy to have a quilt finished in my entire life.
It is
so
amazing.
I'm not going to be able to show these like in their full glory. So I will post pictures randomly this week, just throughout the week.
Of the whole thing?
Of these quilts. You know, every day I'll do a different one or whatever. But
this is an amazing quilt.
This is a quarter. This is 1/4 of it. It's actually not, it's not a huge quilt. It's like 65 by 65, I think. But
wow.
Yeah, after I got it all done, I'm like, oh, those look like houses.
They're not houses? Oh, I said, yeah, here's houses.
No, because this is one border, and this was another border.
They still look like houses when they're all done.
Yeah, it does.
Around a square. Wow.
So,
yeah,
anyway,
you need to take a picture of it laying on the floor or something.
I'll take a picture of it,
but this times
done.
4 is what it looks like.
Yep. It just repeats this right here.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's pretty.
If it needs a home to live in, it can come to mine.
It's folded like this so the raw edges are in. So, and I have the backing for it. And
just need to be quilted, huh?
I picked up a quilt for my quilters, but I decided to take a different one in than this one.
Mm.
So, and then this one is small. It's like 40.
These are the ones you just finished.
30 by 40.
Wow, you got it all quilted and bound.
So these are The ones that I was embroidering by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting, they are free on her blog. She calls them her doodles. And I think if you go back to March of 2020, or no, 2022, sorry, March 2022, you'll see one of these. And then you can click on it.
And you have all the rest.
And it will take you to links for all the rest. And she doesn't color them. I was just wanted to experiment with the colored pencils. I still have people asking me about the colored pencils. Go to Crabapple Hill, and they will tell you how to color with the colored pencils and everything you need to make it so it's washable and all of that. But anyway, so I just pull fabric from my stash.
It's turned out so cute.
And the Churn Dash pattern is from Riley Blake's.
That was free,
it's their,
right?
Yeah, it's their 2023 challenge, and I can't remember. It's like it's like week 6, 5, 6, something like that. And they had a Churn Dash, and so I thought, I wonder if these would fit. They had another quilt inside of it, some quilting. But I just used the outside Churn Dash.
That's great. It just made the cutest little frame for him.
So.
And the back is flowered.
That's what I chose for the back.
That turned out so cute.
So yeah, I don't know if we can hold it kind of up like this.
Kind of.
So. Anyway,
that turned out so cute.
It's just I'll just
kind of a lap quilt size, but it'd be cute to hang on a ladder. Or
yeah, I'm just gonna fold it and hang it over my ladder.
So
for
cute
for spring and summer. But anyway, got that one done, and I just did.
Did you quilt this on your machine?
I did this one on my machine, and because
Great job.
colored it, I didn't want to go over the
embroidery.
The embroidery with the quilting, so I just did. I don't know if you're gonna
down
probably
the sashing.
In the red. I just did a zigzag like through here, here, and here, and then I went the other way, and then I did it along.
Good job.
So this is just a stitch on my machine, and then that's the same stitch I used when I did the binding.
That is so cute.
It turned out, don't you think?
It's adorable.
I didn't send you a picture of it.
No, it's adorable.
I have to have some surprises for you.
I know. I don't show you all mine either.
All right. And then the last one, I picked this up from my quilter.
Oh my goodness.
And
I haven't seen this one all done either.
This one is not, I'm not going to be able to show you.
No, it's huge.
So I'll post this on Instagram also.
Oh
we'll just show
my
sections
goodness.
So this is Lori Holt's My Happy Place.
Oh. This one can come to my house too when it wants a rest.
So let's go up a little bit. Make sure parts of it. There's the cross stitch block. Let's flip it this way. Okay. This way. Other way.
Oh.
And here's the sewing machine. Let's open this up just a little bit for the sewing machine.
Sewing machine and scissors.
I don't know what you're seeing, so.
Yeah, there's the sewing machine. Here's the cross stitch hoop.
And then the needle book.
I like the tomatoes.
And then let's go up. There's the ironing block. And the tomatoes.
There's the tomatoes.
And the button jar.
Oh.
And this one, I just had my quilter just do a meandering quilt on it.
It is so cute.
Which is actually my absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm. And you finished it with rickrack
so when I
in
have
the
her do my quilting, probably 90% of my quilts are using the meander. I just love it. And then I did the rickrack inside. And putting the rickrack on this is super easy because you just use an 1/8 inch seam and you just sew it on.
Stitch it on and then put the binding on.
And then you put the binding on. And you don't even have to worry about your corners or anything because you just go to the edge and cut it off.
Good idea.
So it's 4 pieces of rickrack is what it is.
There are lots of buttons too, which makes it really cute.
I'll just
These are all little buttons on top of the pins.
And that's another thing with the meandering. My quilter does the meandering by hand.
Oh.
She doesn't put it into the computer.
Oh.
So I can...
You can put the buttons on first?
The buttons on first.
And she'll go around them,
And she'll go around them.
Wow.
She did. She says, I feel so bad. She says, I was going along, and she says, I hit one of the buttons, which goes right here. So I do need to put another button right there.
She broke a button. Probably broke her needle.
She probably broke her needle. She says, tell me where you got the buttons. I'll buy you some more buttons. And I'm like, no, I've got buttons. So it's no big deal.
So cute.
But yeah, so since she does her meandering by hand,
you need to put that one up in here.
I'm going to. It's going to hang on this wall right
where we should. Yeah.
To the side.
How cute.
And then the backing is I bought the kit, and then I bought the backing that goes with it. So it's just...
And it's 108 inches wide,
yeah, it's
so you can get one big piece.
A 108 backing, which that's my preferred. For all my quilts, if I can
not have to piece it.
Yep, I'll do the one when I. So basically, the back is kind of the same as the border.
Oh, it is.
Only it's a smaller print.
Yeah.
The border is. And the original quilt had like it was like an 8-inch border. I don't like that big of borders, so I think I did.
This looks like a 4.
Oh, I'm guessing it's a 3.
3. Wow, it's so cute. There's knitting needles and a ball of yarn.
Yeah, there's yarn and knitting needles, and these are the fat
spools.
These
and
are the fat quarters. This is the applique block. This is what she called the crochet block. And then you have the embroidery scissors. And this was fun because it's actually cross-stitched on the fabric.
Yep.
Because the fabric has little grids on it.
Yep. How cute is that?
And the floss.
Oh, and it's got a little button on the embroidery hoop thing.
Yeah. So anyway.
It is.
Just love it.
Wonderful.
It's such a cute quilt.
It is.
So I'll post pictures of this on.
Wow.
I think that's it.
I think it is. This was a finish extravaganza.
It was. It seems like we have more to show, I guess.
Yeah, we're not under pressure to get stuff done quickly, but we still get a ton of stuff done.
And everybody, that's one thing I wanted to say. Everybody's like, you guys get so much stuff done. We don't work.
We don't work. We stitch.
I tell because I quit my job 4 years ago.
Retired.
It'll be 4 years in, oh my gosh, it's been that long. 4 years in June.
I quit 6 years ago.
And so I didn't retire, so I don't get a retirement.
I get my Social Security.
It's a good thing I have my room because I have lots of stuff in here to do.
Yeah, you have lots of stuff to do. You could stay busy for the next 40 years.
Yep.
I could. Here.
But so
I'm the same way.
So neither one of us work, and everybody's like, well, what do you do? I'm like,
craft.
I sew. I stitch.
Craft, yeah.
But my husband is a truck driver, and he leaves like at 3:00 in the morning. So he goes to bed early. So I have
she has all the evenings, and she gets up early, and he's gone. And
I have 4 to 5 hours a night that I stitch. Yeah. And anyway, in the mornings I always get up and do my embroidery. I usually spend about an hour, and then during the day I quilt.
Yeah.
So that's how I get what I get done.
That's what we do. That's why we get so much done.
Yeah. So we're both blessed to be able to
extremely. Oh, I'm going to a retreat.
Oh yeah.
In a week from Thursday. Today's Tuesday.
Oh wow.
I leave a week from Thursday. I'm going to Kansas City to Quilter Station, and it's going to be Stacy Nash, Pat and Ann from Dying to Stitch.
I had signed up.
She had signed up,
but with my daughter,
we didn't know when that was going to happen,
and she still needs help.
Yeah, she does.
She cannot lift her babies for 6 to 8 weeks, and so she still has to have help, and I need to be available for her.
So that's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to that. So
I'm jealous because I want to meet Stacey Dash.
That's her favorite.
I think
Do you have something you want me to take to have her autograph?
Well, I was thinking maybe I would have you just pick up a couple of
and have her
market
autograph them.
charts
Yeah,
for me.
I can do that.
Have her autograph them for
Yeah,
me.
she'll have her show. Yeah, so it's going to be really fun. I'm excited to see everyone that I know that's going and meet new people. I've gone to Amana twice a year, 4 times in a row. So this is a new retreat for me. So it'll be different people and it's going to be really fun. It's in Kansas City, Missouri. And I can't wait to see the store and all the people, and it'll be really fun.
It will be fun.
Yeah, so next video I'll have a retreat report. What'll be fun. Show I'm always buying a lot of stuff at retreats.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, it's a shopping spree.
I know when I would go to quilting retreats.
You come home with all the goodies.
You do.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully the weather's going to cooperate and be nice.
Hopefully.
That'll be good.
I want to get out in my yard and get my garden
Me too. I
ready.
need to clean my flower beds out.
Start planting. I remember last year
our spring had stuff in.
Well, no, our spring was cold.
Was it? Worse than this year?
Oh, yeah.
This year's
been
terrible.
It snowed and rained. I didn't get my garden in until the end of May.
It was later, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right. I remember now.
And usually we don't plant till after Mother's Day.
The last rule. Average frost date usually in our section of Idaho is about the 15th of May. Somewhere in the middle of May. So
But my tomatoes, so I have these things, they're called walls of water.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of them?
Oh yeah.
And they're like
you
plastic
fill them with water.
Things, and they have all these tubes in them, and you fill them with water, and so you can we have there's a neighbor that lives a few blocks over, and he plants his tomatoes like the first part of May.
And puts walls of water around them.
Water around
they're like their own little greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do protect them.
And I do put my tomatoes in those, but I still don't plant.
I don't plant them until later.
But yeah, it was.
In fact, I think last year it was Memorial Day weekend or something when I planted tomatoes.
I think it was like that same
almost
week.
The 1st of June, yeah.
Which isn't
not unusual.
I like to plant early girl tomatoes and 4th of July tomatoes. And really the rule of thumb is if you get them in the ground soon enough, you should have by the 4th of July tomatoes. And last year, I don't think I got my first tomato until into August.
I know. It was really the end of August before anything got ripe.
Yep.
So.
And then we had such a hot summer, nothing was turning. Everything. I had tons of tomatoes that were green and they weren't turning.
Yeah, and they weren't turning because it was too hot.
So hot. But anyway.
Hope it'll cooperate more this year.
So that's the weather report for Idaho.
Yeah. And Utah and
so
Utah
get this. Was it last week? Yeah, it was the first part of last week. We had some huge storms coming in. Utah, which is 3 hours away. I mean,
or even the line is hour away.
Well, Salt
Lake's 3 hours.
It's 3 hours away. They got 18 inches of snow.
Crazy.
Now, here in Burley, where I live, it snowed all day, but nothing stuck.
Yeah.
In the town just north of me, which is the town itself is about 7 miles, got no snow. Out in the country, which is about 5 miles beyond that, got 18 inches of snow. It just circled around, and it stayed. It just circled and circled around, and
we got snow, but it didn't stick. Then we got rain. It rained a lot. But we live down in the canyon, so we're like in the banana belt. The storms stay up on top, and by the time they get down to us, they've kind of gone away, and we get rain and wind and things. But then yesterday it was 84 degrees.
It was crazy.
But it's gray and cloudy and windy today, so the temperature's going back down.
I think a storm's coming in.
I think so too. It looks like it. Oh well. Anyway,
it's spring in Idaho.
It's spring, and we're
that's
done.
what everybody says. It's spring and wherever
just wait 5 minutes and it'll change, right? At least we don't have tornadoes, which I'm thankful for.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Tornado
go out
bad.
to the people in the south.
Arkansas has had it, and all through the Mississippi, all through the
we don't get really
South
any
and Midwest. We don't
natural disasters here.
We might have flooding if it. We've got a lot of snow this year. If it warms up too fast, we may have flooding.
And we did.
But
the north side had flooding, and then it snowed again.
yeah, and froze up again. So
they're probably going to have.
But
flooding.
that's really the worst thing we get. As far as destructive weather, fires, we a few,
not wildfires like
we watch them like crazy around here. So,
but we don't. Really.
Yeah, we don't get that. We're pretty in a kind of a little safe weather place.
Yep,
so
we are.
Okay, well, everybody have fun stitching, and we'll see you in about 4 weeks.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.